well as they cover the action using our people.
Excited about those games, man. Tomorrow's going to be one of the great college football days of all time. I can't wait for it, man.
Eddie Goins kicks off. Fair catch. I'm surprised they're at least not trying to run these back on short kickoffs. Keyshawn Williams, this fair catch. We go inside the college football playoff presented by Capital One. Indiana hasn't won here since 1898. That was the first of the 30 meetings all time. They've lost 12 in a row here since, but it's been a while. Penn State, the home field advantage tomorrow against SMU. Perfect at home in the last decade against non-conference foes. Texas only one loss in the last 2 years at home. That was to Georgia. Ohio State always great at home.
I think it's pretty important to get those home playoff games. What do you say, bud? This is a heck of an environment here, too, for Curtis Rourke to try to get back in rhythm here against.
He decides to keep it and goes for a 1-yard gain. Unlike Riley Leonard, that's not a big part of his game. He's rushed for minus 25 yards this season. Jack Kaiser made the tackle. The 6th-year linebacker playing in his Notre Dame record 67th career game for the Irish.
Kaiser's got a very bright future. He's done such a great job in this offense, and his defense has kind of grown and seen his role expand year over year, and he's become a star in his final season.
Came back for a chance to play for a championship. On target. Keyshawn Williams the catch from Rourke. Here's Katie George.
Yeah, Sean, IU quarterbacks coach Tino Sinceri told Curtis Rourke in between series, let's start to get some quick throws going. We also need to mix up when the ball comes out things, slants. That should help us find a rhythm. That completion there, a good start.
Now, I think Katie really needs to settle down. Tino Sinceri.
Again, the Irish crowding the line of scrimmage, successfully so. Xavier Watts took down Ellison for no gain. Molly McGrath on the Notre Dame sideline.
Yeah, well, Greg mentioned Curtis Rourke needs to settle down. Irish defensive players telling each other we are in their quarterback's head. The message to the defensive front is all you need is one sack to completely take away his confidence. He's feeling the pressure, and if you hit him, his confidence will be gone. So Notre Dame looking to keep the pressure on Rourke. They can feel that it's starting to affect him, guys.
Notre Dame outstanding on defense, 3rd in the country in scoring defense behind Ohio State and Texas. And that pass batted down and almost a diving interception made by Donovan Heinisch. Junior Tui Alamaka knocked it out of the air while being held.
It's not often you see Rourke at 6'5" get passes defended. That's a good job by Tui Alamaka working against Trey Weddick, the right tackle, putting more pressure on Curtis Rourke. And Rourke's got to settle down, but his offensive line also has to give him some time as well. It's going to be tough for him.
Our touchdown run by Jeremiah Love, the longest play, as you might expect, in the history of the college football playoff. Love, nowhere to go that time. Sean Asbury up from his safety spot. Another one of the transfers, 2 years at Old Dominion, 1 year at Boston College before that.
And this is going to have to be the adjustment for Indiana. Right now, Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, they have a lot of room to the edges of the defense. They've found plenty of space. So these safeties are going to have to get a little bit more aggressive. And if you have put your defenders on islands on the outside, so be it. You got to stop the run.
Love in trouble again, delivers a stiff arm that tried to hurdle a defender and did jump over Amari Farrell, but nowhere to go after. Terry Jones Jr. was there for a 5-yard loss.
I mean, how high was he in the air? Right, whoop! I mean, very fortunate that Farrell was able to somehow get just enough of him with that right leg, and he goes down awkwardly, and that right knee twists a little as well, and that was the knee that was injured and forced him to miss the rest of the game against SC.
And he's hurdled would-be tacklers a number of times this year. 3rd down and 16. They try for another one of those wide receiver screens, and Linnell Carr batted it out of the air. Senior defensive end from St. Louis.
That was massive sequence right there for Brian Haynes' defense. They had to get off the field. This was really well executed. They anticipated screen. As a result, guys were all flowing in that direction. It didn't even matter because Linnell Carr was right there with his left hand to deflect the pass. That was exactly what Indiana needed to stop the bleeding.
First punt of the night for James Rendell. He got it off quickly. Line drive kick with some pressure coming at him.
10-yard penalty.
This literally happens every game. Can we just skip to the action?
Nope, nothing but fair and fast claims, just like Geico. Here's the next clip.
But I don't play the clip.
Pass interference, number 34.
Wow, doesn't get any fairer than this, boys.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Well, Curtis Rourke, the sixth-year senior, is off to a tough start. Missing throws, just inaccurate throws off the mark. Mostly high. That one high and inside. This one way off the mark. Does not give Surratt a chance. And then he passes up an open receiver in the flat, tries to force it in between not just two defenders, but two defenders, a free safety, and an umpire to make things even more difficult. They got to settle their quarterback down. Too many throws so far tonight have been down the field. They need to see him get a couple easy completions to get him into a rhythm.
Ordinarily very accurate. That 70.4 completion percentage for the year was 7th in the nation. Quick throw, quick tackle. Miles Cross dumped by Xavier Watts, just a 1-yard gain. Watts won the Nagurski last year as the defensive player of the year. Could have gone on to the NFL, but he felt he had a lot of areas in which he could improve. Man-to-man coverage, tackling, his post breaks, and he wanted to come back to win a championship. Al Golden said he's improved in all those areas and then some. They continue to stuff the run. Lawton dropped by Drake Bowen, the linebacker, Indiana native, their second leading tackler for the year behind Kaiser, his fellow product of the Hoosier State.
Indiana has got to be better on first and second down to avoid these third and long situations. When they get in third and long, Mike Shanahan's offensive line, which is already struggling, they're going to start seeing a lot of movement, twists, and games, which have given them fits all season long.
Pressure up the middle, well blocked. Rourke on target, and a catch by Surratt for a first down on a 15-yard pickup to the Irish 49.
And how about a little love right here for the running back, Tyson Lawton, who just totally cleans up that middle linebacker pressure right up the middle to allow the time for the throw.
He stands in the block again, and a flag thrown, likely for pass interference. Intended for Miles Price. It was Jordan Clark who had the coverage. Each team assessed just one penalty so far.
The pass. Holding. Defense number 1, 10-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
On Clark, a transfer from Arizona State, the son of our ESPN colleague, Ryan Clark.
It looked like that right hand was kind of wrapped around the hip of Miles Price, and that's kind of what the officials saw. There wasn't a ton there, but I think it's still a good call. There's just enough movement. Indiana got to this part of the field. They had Notre Dame on their heels after a big play that was created. Now they're opting to go with the huddle, settling their quarterback down, not getting into a speed ball, which forced the bad decision earlier.
Pressure again from Notre Dame. They try to run right through it. It doesn't work. Jaden Osbury dropped Justice Ellison.
Tough down and distance here, but the guy I'm looking at, if I'm Curtis Rourke, is number 13, Surratt. If I get one-on-one with him, he's the guy I'm going after. It's my best and most reliable receiver against man coverage. He's lined up at the top.
8th play of the drive. Looked like there was some movement along the line. It's a direct snap to Ellison. There are no flags down. He's down with just a 1-yard gain. Now let's see what Kurt Cignetti decides to do. On 4th down at about 4 with under 4 minutes to go in the half, down 14-0. Offense is staying on the field. They did well in this situation on 4th down in plus territory. Fighting a talented Notre Dame defense and this raucous sellout crowd. Timeout, Indiana. Cignetti wants a little more time to think about it. 14-0 Notre Dame.
Inject some confidence, inject some life into his sideline by taking the points.
Saw the graphic, they're not used to trailing. Here's Nicholas Radicic, redshirt freshman, who's missed only 1. And that was in the last game against Purdue. Job for him in a low-scoring game. Derek McCormick kicks off. Jaden Harrison's going to try it. And he regrets that decision. Dropped at the 17-yard line. Kick off your NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the app. Early breaking stories, injury updates, previews of every game right up to kickoff. And then cap the NFL week with Monday Night Football on ESPN, Deportes and ESPN Plus. At 8 Eastern, New Orleans and Green Bay. SVP and the Countdown Crew get you started at 6. Scott will join us later on tonight. Packers 10-4. Won 6 in a row at home on Monday Night Football. Might be a little chilly in Green Bay Monday night. Riley Leonard comes out throwing and now takes off running. We've seen a lot of that this year. James Carpenter chased him out. He had a busy week, Riley Leonard. It's finals week here. If you think, well, they're Notre Dame football players, they don't have to participate in that. They had 40 players take finals yesterday. Riley Leonard was one of them. A final exam in cosmology. I thought he wanted to be a makeup artist.
Not cosmetology.
Yeah, I misunderstood what he said.
We could both use some help if you were into cosmetology.
Yes, well, yeah, we could use him up here if that's the case. Jeremiah Love, the fake handoff to him, and Leonard spins ahead. Earlier in the week, he had 3 papers he had to write and a presentation to do in front of a class. So for those who think these aren't student athletes, at least here at Notre Dame this week and beyond, they are.
No special days here. Day before the biggest game, arguably, in recent history at Notre Dame. Yeah, you got a final at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Be there, be square.
And they actually moved the finals schedules around for the rest of the student body so they could come to this home game. On Friday, they needed the parking lots as well. They're keeping the dorms open through the weekend for those who stayed for the football game. We're at the 2-minute timeout from his well-heated home. Matt, what say you? Good evening, friend.
Good evening. I agree with you guys. The ball hit the ground, in my opinion.
Confirmed. So there was enough evidence to say it was a catch, Matt. Sorry for the interruption.
That's okay. I'm a little shocked. I thought it was on the ground a lot. You didn't look like the hands had that good of firm control, but I don't think it was clear and obvious either way. So I would have thought the stands over confirmed.
Yeah, I would agree with you, because I don't think right there that's clear cut, but it's a huge call. And now the drive continues for Notre Dame. They have all 3 timeouts left. They have had a very shaky field goal kicking situation. Worst in the country, in fact. They have a very good kicker in Mitch Jeter, transferred from South Carolina, but he's been injured most of the year. And he's made only 6 of 12 field goals. But they think he's gotten healthier with the extra time off. He's actually kicked more in practice in recent weeks. Riley Leonard. This is what he can do. Looked like he started to dive head first, maybe slide. Settled on kind of a dip the shoulder and roll-ish thing for a 6-yard gain.
He's so difficult when he takes off. I mean, as a designed quarterback run, he's excellent, but when things break down and the pass rush gets too aggressive, that's when he can really kill you.
Pump fake. Trying to find a running lane. He does somehow. He has another first down. Clock stops to move the chains with 1:03 to go. 6-yard gain. Aiden Fisher credited with the stop. They're at their own 43.
With the field goal issues that Notre Dame's had, the last thing Indiana can do here is allow a ball thrown over their heads. So they got to stay on top of the receivers.
2 receivers to either side, dumped over the middle. Aeneas Williams did a good job to catch it, stay on his feet, and he fought within a yard of the first down. The forward progress there, and Notre Dame will call a timeout.
Let's take a look here at Aeneas Williams, and he does just barely secure it before ball makes contact with the turf. Pretty good balance and hands there from the often overlooked running back behind the two-headed monster that is Price and Love.
42 seconds to go till halftime. Gives us time to check the college football playoff rankings, brought to you by AT&T. With the other 3 first-round games on campus sites tomorrow, with Clemson and Texas and SMU and Penn State. Both of those games are on TNT and Max starting at noon from State College, and then tomorrow night on ABC and ESPN, Tennessee and Ohio State. What do you think of those 3 matchups tomorrow?
I think we've got some great matchups to look forward to. I think Texas is a really good matchup against Clemson. I think that game is going to be tough for Clemson to win unless Texas makes some mistakes. But the other 2, I think SMU, their speed on outside at wide receiver could cause some problems. Kevin Jennings, a playmaker at quarterback. So that one's got a chance to be tight. And the last one, we know it's between Tennessee and Ohio State.
Aeneas Williams stays in. He's been a factor here in the first quarter, the first half rather. Leonard throws deep and incomplete. Diving attempt by Faison, running in coverage with him, Jamari Sharp.
That was the one thing I told you a second ago. I think it was one play ago. You cannot let him get behind you. That was a good job by Sharp, who's starting for the 2nd game in a row after he replaced Jameer Johnson in the final game of the year.
Yeah, he played well. So Brian Haynes has him back out there tonight at corner. So here's another 3rd down from just across midfield. 3rd down and 1 out of the pistol. Williams still the running back. Williams breaks a tackle and has a first down. He gets them to the edge of field goal range. 12-yard gain. Jeremiah Loves had just 4 carries. He had the 98-yard touchdown run, the longest run by anybody in the country this season. And he's had 3 carries since, all for negative yardage. Leonard spiked it in the direction of Williams. I mean, Williams often in there on 3rd down, and he's in there for this entire drive.